Thank you very much, Mrs. Vladikova, for joining our conversation today. You have the floor.
Thank you very much for this invitation. Really, it's very important to reinforce the Bulgarian-Romanian connections in respect to hydrogen. Because, as we know, when a new technology is entering in global scale, it is not in the possibilities of any country, even well-developed, to do everything alone. And that is said very well on the opening of the European hydrogen platform in 2004 by Romano Prodi. I'm reading always with excitement this sentence because after so many years, I realized that really he, in one sentence, he told everything which we all have to do if we want to be successful. I suppose that you have already read it alone, but really our efforts can be successful if national and European resources, public and private, come together in a coordinated way. And Europe from 2004 is trying to do this. In 2008, the Fuel Cells and Hydrogen Joint Undertaking was established as a center that is coordinating the research and development and deployment activities in Europe. Realizing very well that we can't do things alone, we decided to establish the Bulgarian Hydrogen Fuel Cell and Energy Storage Association because up to 2018, science was the driving force in Bulgaria and in many other countries. And we realized that we have to have joint efforts with industry and policy for hydrogen deployment. 4 years later, I can say that we succeed in the moment to combine science and industry. We're still lagging in the rear in respect to policymakers, but I hope that very soon we should join them also, or the needs will make them to join us. So what is the situation in Europe in the moment? That is one summary. 2021, 2030, the plans, I may stop on only few examples. For instance, cars. Now in the moment we have 2,000 cars. In 2030, they could be more than 1 million. They will be, I dare say, more, maybe not 1 million, but really close to 1 million, because all those targets are calculated by every country in respect to their national programs. About the production, I start with the first and with the last row. About the production, now actively we have demo projects not more than 100 megawatts in Europe in several big factories. However, the target is 80 gigawatt, 40 produced in Europe and 40 exported, but in any case with the great support of Europe. And that ambitious plan is well organized and it will be fulfilled. And I hope that our countries will enter into the implementation of those numbers. What about Bulgaria? Well, in the moment, we have nothing connected with green hydrogen. Though the data from the National Frame for Alternative Fuels, Bulgaria was one of the first 14 countries that accepted hydrogen as alternative fuel. And it has had to make a plan, and those are the numbers from the plan. In 2025, we are obliged to have 120 electric vehicles and 5 refueling stations and 600 more vehicles for 2030 and 14 refueling stations. That is not only the plan, but that is also if we have to fulfill the requirement of the new updates of the directives. Directive well, became already a regular, and so on. As far as I could understand from the Romanian discussion, you also do not have still hydrogen strategy officially.
Yes, that's correct. The plan is to have it before the end of this year.
Yeah, the same in Bulgaria, because this is included into the National Recovery Plan. So now we have to do it. In any case, our association is working from 2019, so we have one draft version of Bulgarian. We call it roadmap because strategy has a different political meaning. And we also tried the bottom-up approach, trying to work in advance the political decisions. That is the situation with the hydrogen refueling stations. 150 sounds good, 300 buses sounds good, but if you see the distribution, it doesn't sound good for our region. That's why we decided that we have to start developing our own expertise, because 100 buses will not come for 1 year from somewhere else. And we were happy to have a support, the first and the only support from the Ministry of Science and Education. So in the moment we have the first demonstration running project. We are developing expertise in transport and the development of the hybrid of fuel cell and battery. We are working on a retrofit on one trolleybus of Sofia municipality. We're going to build a range extender for 100 kilometers. But the main reason of this project is to make the team with expertise that can build hydrogen vehicles. Retrofit, a few years ago, they were laughing at us, but now Europe took the idea of retrofit for trains, for ships, vehicles that have high power and that have long life. So now this idea already sounds quite realistic. The second group of projects are projects which we have prepared, but we do not have financing and we are looking for it. That was one initiative of Fuel Cells and Hydrogen Joint Undertaking to help the municipalities to learn how to develop projects. With consultants, Element Energy and Trezors. There was a call, 36 projects, 11 were accepted, and we were happy to have two. One Rusa's municipality on the Danube, on the border with Romania, and one in Sofia. What are the prepared projects for? For hydrogen buses infrastructure, for Sofia 30, for Rusa 20, retrofit of trolleys, for Sofia 30. We make one bus, but we have 40 buses which will go to trash, and we want 30 of them to retrofit to hydrogen vehicles. And for Rusa, that is a tugboat. We have the ambitions to, together with Romanian collaboration, to change the Danube River water transport. So the hydrogen refueling stations, 4 megawatt for Sofia, 2.5 megawatt for Rusa. And you see the price, 45 million euro for Sofia and 22 million for Rusa. Only one number, based on the total cost of ownership, with a very high price of the electrolyzer, which was a price for PEM electrolyzer for 2020. We have for Rusa 5.37 euro per kilogram, and for Sofia 4.13 because of the volume of the refueling station. So the project is ready with all the necessary components for a good project. And the third group of projects, again, bottom-up approach, that is a project in Clean Hydrogen Alliance. The one was done by our association. we combine the efforts of 4 municipalities ready for hydrogen deployment. We have 140 buses total. We have 68 retrofitted trolley buses and electrolyzers, totally 14 megawatts, and hydrogen production 1.5 kiloton per year. The second project was applied by one of the big companies holding the Agora, interested in hydrogen deployment. It is also connected with our idea for expertise in hydrogen transport production. That is for the organization of the production of those vehicles with system fuel cell battery, with capex 56,000 euro and funding gap only 29% because the companies are investing in this. And the last project, which is 1 month old, which I want to share with you, is the so-called White House Project Initiative, developed by Hydrogen Europe. Deep Sea Project and Clean Hydrogen Pipeline Alliance projects are ready from 1 year, but nothing is happening because the organization is not so easy. That's why Hydrogen Europe decided to help for 6-7 big projects distributed in Europe. You see they are with several megawatt hydrogen production. Logistically to support them, support them in the business plans, in trying to find finances, to making consortium. And when we saw those projects, we had one idea for, you will see it, for a big hydrogen hub, and we shared it with Hydrogen Europe. And in this way, a month ago, we have one more project that is the Bulgarian Lion. In Maritsa East region. Why? Because we have the 3.4 gigawatt coal power station. You see the number of the megatons CO2 per year. We have to close it little by little and to lose 8,000 working places. 20 kilometers from Maritsa is the ammonia plant, and 180 kilometers is the biggest refinery in the region. The positive is that the land of the coal mines gives a good opportunity for solar parks, 240 square kilometers. And we have 1,600 good hours for operation of photovoltaics. So that is the final number. In 2033, we have to have hydrogen for ammonia and refinery. You can see the numbers for balance of grid, for transport, for combined heat and power, and for injection and the gas grid, something in common with the Romanian policy, but you have your own resources while we do not have them. And that is by production of green hydrogen photovoltaics. And of course, we could produce for export. That means that we have 10 gigawatts of solar, 8 gigawatts electrolyzers, 750 megawatts fuel cells. We have to have enough working places, and the total cost is 14 billion euro. I think that with this project, our policymakers should have to start to support us. That is the beginning of the consortium. There are only Bulgarian companies up to now. We need collaboration with foreign companies and foreign investments also. And the last idea which I want to share with you is connected with something which we can do together, Bulgaria and Romania. In the moment, there is one initiative, the biggest ACA2 project, GIV2, for distribution and deployment of hydrogen buses in Europe. 150 buses, 14 towns, 7 countries, but again, you see that our regions are not existing in this project. In the end of the project, there was some money left, and that's why the coordinator of the project decided that they could be spent for organization of bus road shows in Eastern and Central Europe. For our region, that is Slovenia, Serbia, Bulgaria, Romania, Greece. Coordinator is Ivar Starikos, whom Johan knows very well, and I'm something like sub-coordinator for our region because we have close connections with the countries. For the moment, Croatia, Bulgaria, and Greece accepted with letters of interest to have in 2 towns or 3 towns for 2 weeks, 1-2 buses, which will function in the city transport. The buses come with the mobile stations, and the public transport drivers have to be from the country. They are going to be skilled for this, and every municipality has only to organize the acceptance of the buses with legislative documents that they can be part of the city fleet. So since we have one project H2PO with Greece and Hungary, Greece and Romania, we have sent this invitation to those here structures which take part in H2PO project. But for the moment, we have no response, and it's urgent because the organization should start very soon. So if somebody is interested, I'm talking about municipality supported by, of course, by the association or companies, please write me, react so that we could very quickly introduce Romania into this initiative. And for conclusion, what I could see as common, that is the common hydrogen pipeline. In the previous presentation, it was already shown. Never mind that you have your natural gas resources and your pathway is towards carbon capture and utilization. And we have to go to renewables. We do not have other choice. The pipeline is hydrogen pipeline. The second option is we have to work on the decarbonization of our river, common river, and making it more active, because Danube is the longest river. However, Rhone is the river with activities. We have to activate the activities on Danube. Of course, for scientific collaboration, we have to reinforce it. We have a common niche to have a unified policy for transport decarbonization with optimization of refueling stations and infrastructure. And of course, the legislative issues are something which is common for Europe, not only for us, but for us it's very important. So thank you very much.